What it is, y'all? It is your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back at you today with more Dokkan Battle, and I've had a really interesting one. Big shout out to Alec Hunter, of course, with the Global Gang podcast. Dude's an absolute beast and a legend, in my opinion. I'll put link to his Twitter and the Global Gang podcast in the description down below. But he launched a challenge this weekend. Super Battle Road Universe Survival Saga versus Universe 16. Technically, Universe 16 versus USS. So, I said, cool, I can take this on. This seems like a lot of fun. Now, after a few attempts, I did kind of perfect a team. Now, initially, I had completely 100% forgotten that Int Kale got her Dokkan Awakening. So, after doing that, I have massively improved my time. So, here's the team that I was using. And this team absolutely just slaps. It is so amazing. I actually did rerun this after everything kind of ended. So let's go ahead and jump in and relive this run and in all of its glory. Now, this team can very easily new items this, as you'll no doubt see here in a moment. Unfortunately, I will go ahead and spoil it. I did use an item later on in this run, but it was unfortunately necessary. Now, this Tech Caulifla, if you haven't awakened her, she is phenomenal. She never takes damage. Old girl just laughs at everything. It is hilarious. So if you're in a situation like I'm in right now, where obviously she's just not going to get any hits, and the Kale and Caulifla unit, if you have the LR, hopefully, because they're so good, especially for this, they're a type advantage. We're just going to absolutely dominate this first turn. Okay? Pay close attention to Caulifla. Like I said, she's never going to take a hit, and she does multiple attacks across the board. She is just an absolute unit. It's amazing. Now, I am kind of doing weird stuff here, but I am trying to take out the weakest unit first. Obviously, Kale and Caulifla are going to just laugh at him here in a moment. Boom, look at that. Never takes a hit. Love it. If you have her and the STR Kale, STR Kale is absolutely just... basically, she stacks her defense to such an insane degree and does so many multi-attacks. You put Tech Caulifla with her, let Tech Caulifla dodge most of the attacks, let her guard the rest of the attacks. You'll love life. Now, obviously, I'm using the LR here, and even Fizz Caulifla comes in handy. She probably not the best at by a long shot. She really needs an easy A. This unit needs an easy A pretty bad. I say she's hitting 1.4, but I'm like, it's really hard to get that much damage out without like an orb changer or something. All right, so here's the STR Kale. I'm trying to figure out what to do with her, because obviously, you know, I want to get her in a situation where she can start tanking some damage. Now, Tech Hit is an interesting situation here, because Tech Hit, obviously he can stun, and he can actually stun without even having to get off a special attack. So, just a base level attack, he can stun, and I put a lot of double attack into this dude, so he's going to have a high likelihood of stunning. Now, this is what I'm talking about with Kale. Kale is just going to keep attacking and just keep going. So this is attack number 3. We'll look at that later. I think she gets like 4, maybe even 5 attacks later on. Now the main goal here is to hopefully stun with Hit, because Hit's defenses are garbage. But you see here, this is why I gave him double attack, because even if he gets a base level attack, he still has a medium chance of stunning, and he tends to do it pretty well. Now, he did kind of shit the bed there on me a little bit, but you know, it's Super Battle Road. Things never going to go the way you want them to. In a perfect world, I would have loved to have finished him off there. Now, the Int Kale here is really awesome. All said and done, she's going to give 50% attack to the LR. Now, she gives 50% attack pretty much across the board to most units. It stacks. It's, you know, goes in different directions. Actually, I think it's a little more than 50% because half of it's conditional. But let's say half. She does 40%, and then like the last 10% is conditional. So it still is a major, major, major boost. So let's see how much their attack stat is. I didn't see, but okay. So 2.3 mil on a 12 key. I think it was like 3.6 on the 18 key, and that's without building them up. That's like literally their second turn. So that tells you how good that Int Kale is. Unfortunately, she's not really a very good tank. But we're already done with part 1. Let's go ahead and jump into part 2 of 3 and see where this goes. Now, this is a little dicey. I'm not going to lie. Basically, I absolutely have to get the stun off with hit, or we're going to be in a world of absolute hurt. Okay. Kale should be guarding, but honestly, I'm a little worried about that first hit because she's got to get some attacks off. But let's see how she does here. All right. Kale's just really, really, really awesome. At least the strength Kale is. Because after she attacks, obviously she's guarding. She's got so much going on. She tanks like a boss for every hit. She's going to produce tons and tons and tons of hits. And because of that, she's going to stack her defenses. And on top of that, she does a really decent amount of damage. Maybe not in the first hit, but by like turn 3, turn 4, dude, she is killing it. Boom. Look at that. In Super Battle Road, to take damage, double, triple digit damages, that's pretty substantial. That's a good number. Got perfect situation there. So I needed to hit Kale because Kale was going to attack hit. If I didn't hit Kale, we were going to be in a world of absolute hurt. So getting that stun off was mandatory. If I didn't do that, that would not have been a successful run. That would have been an instant rip. But this really sucks right here. So I need to have... I needed those dodges, and I don't trust Fizz K-Flo to really pull that off. Cat-Flo, whatever you want to call her. I don't trust her to pull it off, but she really came through on this one. Now, the strength base K-Flo here is really good as far as dodging goes, but she's really got to get that transformation, which she doesn't yet have. So I'm kind of putting her in a strange situation here, because normally what I want to do is I would actually want to float the int unit, but real talk, if she gets hit, she's going to get hit for a lot more than even the strength K-Flo is. So we've got to be really cautious here. Alright, so the goal right now is to just wipe out units as fast as possible. Just go ham and just start taking them out. Obviously, I have type advantage over Caulifla, so getting her out of the way is going to be good. Maybe with as many extra attacks as are going to go up, maybe I'll get lucky here and get rid of Kale at the same time. Who knows? It would be perfect if that was the case, but that might be a bit of a dream. And not quite there. If that had been an SA, they would have done it. And look at that dodge. You never see them dodge like that. This is just a super lucky run. Like, this run was so lucky. It was just RNG win left, right, and center. Couldn't be happier. Alright. So now we're getting to the kind of weird stuff. This is like, the end of this run is just so sketchy, so weird. And you can see I'm like really down in health. I really need to restore health. But the problem is I can't access all those tech orbs because I've got to get the other orbs to Kale into Caulifla first. I would have preferred to get way more tech orbs to Caulifla, but we'll take what we get. Now notice Caulifla still hasn't taken a single hit. Like, she hasn't, not even for double digits. She's taken nothing at this point. She's laughed at everything. And you will also notice that I did put hit at the end because the goal is always to get Kale and Caulifla on the same rotation. Caulifla is basically the dodger. Kale is the hitter. She's just ridiculous. But, and she still tanks too. She basically tanks. Caulifla, I don't want to call her a tank because she's doesn't take any damage. She just dodges it. She's the one with all the agility in the world. So, we do have type advantage here, so it's not the end of the world if we get hit, but I would rather not. So I really need this stun. And we got it. Tech hit is coming in absolutely clutch with those stuns. And he normally doesn't do this. Like, this run was literally just like an RNG dream. The only exception being we did take a couple of unlucky hits, and we're going into the final rotation. So this is kind of where I start to go, okay, is it worth risking the no items, or do I just need to drop something and get a quick heal and maybe reduce some damage? Because let's bear in mind, Kaelin Khalifa really good. Yeah, so spoiler alert, I did. Kaelin Khalifa are really, really good, but they've got to get a few hits out before they're really tanking properly, and that's a lot of damage in front of them. So that 30% HP, or I'm sorry, 30% defense is going to be absolutely mandatory. Absolutely. Now, I am focusing on Int UI because Int UI really is the most dangerous one here. While I'll be the first to admit, see, even with 30%, I took that much damage. That would have been like a 300,000 damage hit, for lack of a better way to put it. That hit would have basically murdered us. It would have been the end of the run. So it's a good thing I kind of did that. The goal here technically would be to have Kaelin Khalifa on that first rotation, and then second rotation have a Dokkan with the Kaelin Khalifa unit. So basically have Tech Kale and Strength Khalifa on that rotation, and then have the AGL Kaelin Khalifa, so that on the second rotation after that we have Dokkan. That'd be the perfect arrangement, but unfortunately it just wasn't in the cards. Alright. So notice they're just over and over and over hammering down on UI. I needed UI gone, because UI really is the most dangerous foe here. And with the units that we've got, they do so many attacks, it was basically not worth my time to try to take out the back end units. I really, really, really needed to take out Int UI, and it was guaranteed, even if I had to wait for Fizz K-Flo to get up there, she would have absolutely taken him out. So, absolutely perfect. Now, the fact that she's fighting the AGL Majin Vegeta, or I'm sorry, Majin Vegeta, AGL Blue Vegeta, that isn't preferable, but once again, my goal was to take out UI. That was it. Once UI was done, the round was done, so absolutely perfect. Alright. Now, you will notice that STR Kale is about to take a hit from the AGL Vegeta, so hopefully Khalifa can hit him hard enough to get rid of him. But that's a big order, because she's struggling to make a mill. Now, to be fair, she gets enough hits in, but not really doing it this time. Not getting the extra attacks. Now, notice Kale does hit harder, but she's not getting the criticals. We need criticals like nobody's business. We gotta have some crits. And once again, RNG's kind of dried up on us. There's a little bit there, but I wouldn't call that satiable. I really want more, but I guess you get what you get, right? Alright, so now we got a 2 mil attack stat with the base Kefla. I really need her to transform so we can start getting some of those dodges out, but for now, we're back here. Now, the wise thing here to do, obviously, put Kale in the front, let her take the one hit, and she's going to have type advantage, because if she takes all these other hits, she gonna die. But we've got Dokkan. We've got Dokkan, and if I put her in the front, we're risking a lot with her. And with as low as Majin Vegeta is, this actually might be worth. So we got to hit all 7 of these right. Boom. Boom. Perfect. Let's go. Now, I've got to have a critical on this. I can't afford to not crit, because we need to kill. We need Majin Vegeta gone, and we've got to kill at least one other unit. If we could do that, this will be just the perfect run. But sadly, no crits. Though, the physical 17, MVP 17 is gone. So all we got to do now is work on Frieza. Now, if we can get some crits in on him, perfect, but I don't think it's in the cards. Notice we do a 2 mil attack stat, and we're going to hit for what here? Not even 400,000. Even with type disadvantage. That is just brutal. Just brutal. Now, Kale does have type advantage, but remember, she doesn't hit very hard. She's really only here to buff everybody else. And she's going to do a great job, because here comes Hit. Hit, if you can't kill him, I need you to stun him. So he's dead. And that pretty much was the run. That, like I said, if I really went through that again and I really tried, that could easily be a no items run. It just wasn't because of reasons. And it could have probably been a little faster. Just honestly, just my deficiencies personally, and the fact that I wasn't, really tapping on things, and I got distracted a couple, especially there at the end with how quickly we ended it. I wasn't really expecting that. But 14 minutes, 34 seconds, pretty respectable. I could probably get down to a 12 minute if I really tried. And notice it is one of every type. We've got Tech, we've got AGL, we've got Int, we've got Fizz, and we've got Strength. Every single person is here, so that is absolutely valid. I only needed one item. Could easily have no items did if we gotten a little tiny bit more lucky, but I would say RNG really, at least in the first round, did us so many favors. Let me know what you guys think. If you want to rerun this, definitely do so. Post your teams you used and your times in the description down below. I'll put a link to the Twitter as well. You can actually respond there. I'm sure Alec would love to hear from you on this one. But that's the challenge. The Universe 6 versus the USS SBR. Had a load of fun doing this. I had to rerun this multiple times to get, even this run out. And I'm really going to keep trying because I really want that no items. That's why I do. But Universe 6 really is such a crazy OP team. So, let me know what y'all thought. Like, comment, share. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date. I will definitely catch you guys on the next one.